Home is a place where we can build upon our personal relationships with our family, and I can't think of a better place to be able to do that than right here in Hickory, North Carolina.
Home to us is security. Basically, not having to move anymore. We've got our own place. We're secure where we're at.
Home is comfortable. It's where I go to rest.
Home is the place where one lives permanently, especially as a member of a family or household.
Home is my place.
Home is where your anchor is.
Home is a place where you can put down roots in your community. Es un lugar donde puedes echar raíces en la comunidad.
Home to me is family and love.
Home is the key.
Home is the key.
Home is the key.
Home is the key. El hogar es la llave.
Hello and welcome to Home is the Key. My name is Mitzi Gelman, and I have the distinct honor of serving as Executive Director for Habitat for Humanity of Catawba Valley. Home, community, hope, and you is more than a phrase. It's the four elements that combine to build Habitat strong. The dream of Habitat begins with a single home and the wish for stability and permanency. And when a single home is added, and another home, and then another, community is created. And where there's community, there's hope. Hope for better health, hope for better grades, hope for better jobs, and hope for a better life. COVID has thrown everyone a curveball this year, and we need your help. Families need us to help them build back. Families already struggling before this health crisis began. Families newly struggling with financial instability and uncertainty. Our goal today is to raise $80,000 to serve the 7 families that are currently in our pipeline waiting for homes. Through the generous support of our sponsors, we're a quarter of the way there, and I'm asking if you can help us do the rest. And while you're helping these 7 families, know that your investment in Habitat today boosts the local economy tomorrow. This is how it works. Last year, with your help, Habitat invested $2.5 million in operations, construction, and housing rehabs. That investment created $3.9 million in local economic impact. It supported 44 jobs, including Habitat staff, contractors, and subcontractors. And in addition, it also pumped $1.7 million in wages into the local economy. Bottom line for you, every dollar you invest in Habitat injects $1.57 into our local economy. So your gift does more than build a house, which is a pretty awesome superpower if you ask me. It's an investment in our community. With your support, Habitat for Humanity is ready to stand alongside these families and begin building back. We'll build security and stability. We'll build back the economy. We'll reconnect communities. We'll create hope. We know that home ownership changes a place from a single house to a community and then to hope. Stay with us for a few more minutes and learn how you have a stake in building a home, a community, and hope.
Good morning. I'm Whit Malone, one of the pastors at First Presbyterian Church in Hickory, and proud to be a board member of Habitat for the last 5 years. As a pastor, I've had the privilege of working with Habitat for almost 35 years now. But none of those years were like this year. So much has changed, hasn't it? I mean, when was the last time you shook hands with a friend? I know grandparents who haven't hugged their grandchildren since last Christmas. And we wear masks at work, at church, at school, at the grocery store, and sometimes at home. So much has changed. What hasn't changed is the need for strong and stable housing in Catawba County. In fact, the pandemic has only heightened that need because over the past 8 months, our homes have become like envelopes of protection from a virus that we knew very little about. Our homes have become classrooms with books and worksheets and internet where children can continue to learn and grow. Our homes have become our office for those who can work remotely, and certainly our playgrounds for children who need to burn off some energy. So much has changed since March, and yet so much has not changed. Catawba County has the oldest housing stock in the entire state of North Carolina. What hasn't changed is that home ownership is a key to achieving financial stability, to closing the wealth gap, and to building racial and economic equity with our neighbors who have been denied opportunity for so long. What hasn't changed is that the children of homeowners have better school attendance, both virtual and in person, higher math, reading, SAT scores, and graduation rates. What hasn't changed is how during this pandemic, having a home that is safe and warm and dry has been especially critical for our older and disabled neighbors. And what hasn't changed is the very real need for affordable housing in Catawba County. Homes that are within the reach of hardworking people whose income does not qualify them for a traditional mortgage. Finally, what hasn't changed is Habitat's commitment to its mission. Its mission of creating strong communities that will anchor families for generations to come, that will actually move the needle on poverty, that will increase property values and help drive economic recovery. As a member of the Habitat Board, I've been absolutely amazed at how our staff has responded to the challenges of our moment, quickly pivoting to work in ways that have allowed us to keep our commitments to families who are already in the homeownership and the repairs process. Early on, Habitat's ministry was deemed essential, and how true that is. We've continued to build new homes, though without all of our beloved volunteers. And as the only professionally staffed critical repair program in the county, we have continued to repair the houses of some of our most vulnerable neighbors. I've heard it said recently about Habitat, in tough times, we don't just raise the bar, we raise the roof. Mitzi and our entire staff have done a phenomenal job under very difficult circumstances, and our board and particularly our partner families are very grateful. Finally this, I am beyond excited about what is next for Habitat. We're living in a time when we desperately need to hear some good news, and friends, this is good news. Habitat is bringing together our two primary ministries, new home construction and our repairs program, to partner with other community resources to help revitalize and build an even stronger Ridgeview community. Taking advantage of this unique opportunity to build and repair multiple homes in the same neighborhood, Habitat is committed to building 6 new homes and to repair 10 more, all so our neighbors might have a place to call home. Now we would like to share with you a video story which highlights the journey of several of our current partner families who believe that even in tough times, they can still build solid foundations through housing.
I'm Margaret Pope. I'm a lifelong resident of the Ridgeview community. Grew up right here in Hickory. I was born in 1946. Growing up in Ridgeview, the community was a thriving community. close-knit community where everyone knew everyone. My mother was an ambitious person. She wanted the best for us. She and my father worked hard to give it to us. My dad sometimes worked 3 jobs just to make sure that we had what we needed and some of the things that we wanted. So my mother, as I said, was ambitious and she wanted the best for us. And she did everything she could to make sure that we learned to be caring. My father made sure that we learned to work. My brothers especially worked for what they wanted. You know, they wanted cars, they wanted the nice clothes, so they worked. You know, nobody got a handout. I became involved with Habitat over 20 years ago. At the time, I believe I was still working at social services. I think I became involved primarily because a coworker of mine at social services invited me to join the family selection committee, which I thought was a perfect fit because as a social worker, you're interviewing people all the time. The good thing about Habitat is that once you become a partner, not only do you have to work on the construction of the home, you are expected to put in some volunteer hours, and you are expected to attend classes to learn how to manage and budget money. And I'm sure that most people who are Habitat homeowners will tell you that that was a great learning experience and that it has prepared them to be a homeowner. So no, there are no handouts. You work for it. And I think that that makes people more appreciative of what they have because it is their own and they have worked for it.
My name is Jose Vargas. I was born in Mexico, but I moved to the United States when I was 1 year old. I was raised in New York. I've been living there basically my whole life. We moved down here with my wife and my son when he was born because we just wanted something a little bit better because New York is always nonstop. So we just wanted something where we could actually keep an eye on my son. So we decided to move here because my parents had already moved down here before us. In New York, it was me and my brother sharing a 1-bedroom apartment while I was married. And we were paying about $1,000. This was back 13 years ago. We're paying about $1,000 for rent for a 1-bedroom. And I was where I worked, I was like the loading dock supervisor. So I was making good money, but it just wasn't enough. And when I got down here, it's like I was making less, but I still had more money in my pocket. So I was like, I think we made the right decision moving down here. When I moved down here, I started working at a pizza shop at the mall. But then I got a job at Walmart in Conover, and I've been working there ever since. I've been there for 13 years. It's changed recently with the COVID. Before it was, I'd go in, check my overstock on all my freight, see what actually was work, what wasn't work, reworked anything that I thought wasn't going out. But ever since with the COVID, it's just nonstop putting out chemicals, paper goods, and dog food because, I mean, everybody doesn't go out as much, so they buy everything in abundance now. We were accepted in the end of last year, so we started working ever since that time to get our hours up. When we finally got our 50 hours is when the COVID had started, so everything had slowed down, all the building and everything, so they showed us our site where we were going to build, which is here, where we're going to build the house. Like my wife and I, we talked about, you know, how long is it going to take, how much longer is it going to take, because we were waiting for so long, and we figured, I mean, we got to give it time with this COVID. We don't want nobody getting sick or anything like that. Not us, not them, you know. Well, I think it's just going to give us a better sense of security. I feel like if my son knows that we don't have to constantly move because the rent's going up or because the building is no longer safe or whatever, it's like, or the neighborhood's not safe anymore, it'll give him that more confidence of like, he knows that he's got somewhere to come, he knows it's ours, we're not gonna lose it. At no moment is somebody gonna tell us, you gotta move. That's why Habitat is such a good program, because it gives people that don't think they have a chance to actually have a home. In a couple of months, a couple of months we'll be moving into our own house and we won't have to move again. It's like we'll be set. It's like It's ours, and nobody can make us move unless we want to move.
I have seen Habitat come into the community and build new homes, but another valuable service of Habitat is providing rehab for homes in the community, for older persons who are in the community who cannot afford to get it done otherwise. It gives them the opportunity to remain in their homes in a safe environment. Senior citizens who need home repairs, who otherwise might have to move out of their homes to live with other family members or maybe even go into a nursing home. To see the joy on their faces when these repairs are done is invaluable.
My name is Betty Jean Clark. Well, I worked at Lane Furniture and I worked there like 32 years. I worked there and then I worked a little part-time Lake Hickory cleaning service. And they told us one day we got the, they gave us a package deal. They was going out of business, so I took it. If I had kept working, I would have lost my package deal. Oh, that porch was gone. My porch was gone. And I was scared somebody gonna fall and get hurt, because the whole side of it was terrible. Tim, next door, my neighbor, I think he worked for Habitat, and he on the committee, I think. And anyway, he told me I could come down here and ask y'all would, fix it. And Mr. Richard came out there and looked at it, and he said, yeah, it was danger. So they come and fixed it. I helped. I didn't mind helping. Come down here and I talked to Tina, fill out the application. And what I had to do, I did it. And when they started, I helped. I helped to the end. Move all the wood, all I can move. Well, people have, said something about repair. And I told them, I said, well, I'll be honest with you. I said, I went down to Habitat. I said, they was good to me. And I'd do it again if I have to help somebody else. Because y'all was good to me. But I really appreciate what they did.
I'm now serving on the Habitat board. It gives me an opportunity to see some of the policy making and see what is needed for Habitat to operate. We need volunteers, we need supporters like you to come on board so that the work of Habitat can continue. So I support Habitat, and I invite you to also support this valuable program.
Friends, earlier I talked about all the things that have changed over this past year and all the things that haven't changed. It's clear to me that what has not changed is that having a safe, strong, and secure home is truly a key to having the kind of abundant life that Jesus wants for all of his children. And at Habitat, this is what we do. This is what we were doing pre-COVID, and it's what we continue to do. To provide a vital key to strong families and strong communities. I think Habitat is needed now more than ever. And to do this work, Habitat needs you more than ever. You may have read or even noticed that the cost of building materials has risen an average of 30% during the pandemic. Whereas a commercial builder would simply pass that cost along to his customer, Habitat can't do that. So we need you more than ever. And if you've been inspired by what you've seen and heard today, I invite you to make a donation that will help make possible this significant ministry. There are 3 convenient ways for you to make your gift today. 1, You can fill out a paper pledge if you have one already. 2, you can click the online donate button located to the right of this video. Or 3, you can download and print out a pledge form by using the link below this video. 2 years ago, at our first Home is the Key breakfast, we introduced the Legacy Builders Society. And we are absolutely thrilled to now have 56 current members. The Legacy Builder Society is made up of individuals and families who pledge their giving over a period of 5 years. If you can imagine being a small business person who is assured of a certain amount of revenue over several years, then you can imagine the impact that long-term commitments have for Habitat. It allows us to plan much farther in the future to benefit from economies of scale, all with the purpose of serving more and more of our neighbors than we are able to serve now. I'm glad to be one of the 56 legacy builders, and I hope you'll join me in becoming a member of this very impactful society. The next area on the pledge sheet is for those of you who are either legacy builders or regular donors to Habitat, and who might want to increase your pledge. Finally, the next area on the pledge sheet is where you can personalize the amount you would like to pledge or give today. Again, we want you to know that we greatly appreciate each and every gift. As you've heard today, there's still so many families who are hoping and praying for the same opportunity that Habitat is able to offer Jose and Betty Jean. And together, we can help answer those hopes and prayers. Will you join me in doing that? On behalf of Habitat staff and board, I want to thank you for joining us this morning. May you and those you love be safe and well.
As you're completing your pledge forms, I want to thank you again for taking time to be with us today. And as we wrap things up today, I've got one more favor to ask of you as well. If you would, please spread the word to your friends and family about what you've heard here today. Working together, we can provide a safe landing spot for families to call home. Habitat for Humanity of Catawba Valley would not exist without your support and the support of our wonderful community. And I'd also like to offer to you, if you have any questions at all today, just give me a call. And my number, for everybody who's got a pen and paper, is 828-612-9104. Or you can email me at mitzi@habitatcatawbavalley.org. Because, you know, with your help, it's how we build Catawba strong. Thank you.